This is the second studio, hosted by two architects, myself, David Lee, and Marina Borderone. The two of us are in the studio, hanging out, and this is an after hours.
Yeah, that's what we do for fun. We do podcasts.
It's
so
Saturday.
Much fun.
Woo! What are we talking about during this after hours conversation? I have no idea. That's the point of these. We'll see how it goes. Sponsors. Are you tired of juggling multiple pieces of software and struggling with spreadsheets that aren't made for the realities of design and architecture in 2023? Built by and for designers and architects, Programma's all-in-one suite of tools has everything modern studios need for every stage of a project. Mood boards, the world's best specification tools, procurement, tracking, project management, and more. All smartly integrated and easily shareable and always up to date, reducing time-consuming double handling and costly errors. Share work in various formats from PDFs to client-friendly, up-to-date online dashboards. Join the ranks of leading studios using Programma today. Click the Programma link in our show notes to start for free. One of the easiest ways to get accurate existing conditions of houses is with an iPhone and iPad app called Canvas. Canvas is a tool we use on many of our projects. Instead of surveying the home manually, we simply scan it using our iPad, and Canvas processes the scan to produce accurate drawings and even 3D computer models. The file formats work with AutoCAD, ArchiCAD, Revit, Vectorworks, SketchUp, and others. It's extremely easy to use, really fast, and has been a huge benefit for us and our clients. Try it out by visiting canvas.io/SSP or click the link in our show notes to learn more.
If you're still using AutoCAD and separate 3D modeling program, then let me just tell you, stop that. Get with the times, people, and advance to a BIM computer program. The program we recommend is ArchiCAD. ArchiCAD leads the industry by enabling architecture and interior design firms around the world to 3D design. It's supported by innovative technology that expands as far as the imagination can stretch. As ArchiCAD continues to evolve with technological advances, architects can push that technology to their advantage while working in an accurate model. You can start your fully functioning free trial today by clicking the link in our episode notes.
This is the second studio. What's up? How's it going? So there is something I want to talk about.
Oh my.
Which is, I like breakfast. I would have breakfast for dinner more often. However, right, I feel like growing up, you'd have your eggs, maybe there's some cheese in the eggs, and then there's sausages, right? I don't mean like the kind of wrinkly sausages, but I mean like a proper sausage. Go to the supermarket. I want to find myself a nice, proper, classic sausage. They're all weird. All the sausages are weird. There's like apple, smoked, bacon, honey, maple, chicken sausage. What the fuck is that? I don't want that. Give me a normal sausage. You go to the next sausage over. Also chicken, which unless I'm mistaken, I believe when I was a kid, there were no chicken sausages.
Well, is it just because we shop at Trader Joe's? Like, do other stores have normal sausages?
Maybe.
I don't even know.
But even like, I feel like other places too. If you go to the sausage section, okay,
right,
there's a wall in front of you of sausages. Yeah, you probably find some normal ones, but they're not the normal ones anymore. They're the minority.
Yeah.
The normal ones it's been gentrified. The sausages, they've been gentrified by these fancy chicken things. Chicken, whatever flavor you can think of, there's a sausage that's made of chicken with that flavor. And I protest. I do not like it. I prefer when mostly the wall was just, I don't even know what kind of meat it was. It wasn't important, but it wasn't chicken, I'll tell you that.
It's probably, I don't know, it's probably beef.
Beef or pork. But it's odd. Like, where are the normal
weird.
sausages?
I didn't grow up eating sausages for breakfast because in France it's a sweet breakfast. But there is something weird about chicken sausage, and I think I've never met a chicken sausage until I moved to the United States. I don't even think that was a thing.
Not my. Do you like it?
No, I don't.
No, it's weird.
No, I don't. I don't think we need to put a chicken in a sausage form.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange.
It's perverse.
I mean, in the history of time, sausages were not made out of chicken.
Although that said, I would happily have a duck sausage. That
you're using
the
intestine. I mean, the real sausage. You're using this intestine casing to make the sausage. So you're probably using the animal meat intestine to make that sausage. But the chicken, I don't think has very big intestines, if any. I don't even know if they have any. I mean, it's probably like 3 centimeters long or something. Yeah. So I'm like, it's a little bit barbarian. I don't really understand. Like,
I don't know. I just don't. I don't like the flavor or the texture. It just doesn't.
It's weird. And the sweet sausage, spicy sausage, I'm totally fine with that. But the sweet aspect of it...
I'd love there to be a poll. I'd love to find out why there's been an increase in chicken sausages. And of all of the consumers of sausages, do they actually prefer these maple bacon chicken sausages over just like, I don't know, normal, whatever, pork, beef sauce? I think it's pork, but whatever, normal, right? They're not
I think
out
it's
there.
pork. I think it's pork.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, no, it is weird.
And they're expensive too. It's like $6 for 4. It's like, what?
I have to say, one thing I miss from France is the butcher shop.
Yeah, well, yeah, from here, but yeah,
no, but they don't look like the meat you want to buy. Like, how long has this meat been standing here? It doesn't look like you get much traffic.
Yeah.
How fresh is this piece here, you know? And the selection is very limited. But like, you know, any grocery store in France you go to, or they have, you know, freestanding butcher shop that like you would go buy bread, you go buy meat, right? And I do miss those a lot. Not that I'm more on the vegetarian side maybe than like the meat eater type of person. But if there was stores like that here, I would go get my meat there because selection is just so much better. And I do prefer the skinny French sausages rather than
merguez. That's not French though, is it?
Oh no, it's probably Spanish, I would imagine. But yeah, like the skinny sausage rather than like the more like German big fat
bratwurst.
Sausages. Yeah.
Oh, I love bratwurst.
That's my thing.
So good.
I mean, I eat it if I only have that, but I would eat it if I only had that, but if I have the choice between that and the skinny one, I go with the skinny one.
Gotcha. Well, but the bratwurst you can only really do if you have like a grill. Like doing it on the stove doesn't really...
Oh, I mean, you can... Yeah, I mean, in Europe you eat it differently, but yeah.
You look disgusted by the thought of bratwurst.
Yeah, because it's... Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole... Yeah, the German sausage with like cabbage on the side. And
it's so good. You mean the sauerkraut?
Yeah, just
and maybe a little bit of mustard even? No. Oh man, what a treat.
I like mine skinny on the barbecue, super crispy, you know, with like fresh veggies, tomatoes, fries.
Why ruin a perfectly good sausage with some vegetables? It's crazy.
Or like herb sausages. Oh, so good.
I think I might have had one. It's too herby for me.
Oh no, I love it.
It's not bad though. I prefer that over the chicken sausage.
Actually, it's funny. We were at an event a couple of weeks ago, and among the conversation was the topic of eating horses.
Oh yeah.
And
shout out to Skyframe.
Yeah, and one of the person at that dinner was like, "Oh yeah, when somewhere in Europe, and
I think it was French,
or maybe it was here, and he had horses for the first time, and it was like, you know, it's kind of a weird idea, but it was actually pretty good." And it's interesting to see like how, you know, from different cultures and country, people would eat different things and the perception of eating those things.
Would you eat horse?
I grew up eating horses.
Wow, how barbaric! It's like you're a wild person in the forest with spears.
No, but
horses.
you would go. You know, you go to the grocery store, you buy like your steak in like, you know, the wrapper, you know, like in the fresh refrigerated aisle, and you had like beef, you had pork meat, and then you had horses. There is a specific brand that only sells horse meat.
I'm surprised, but you ate it.
But usually it's
you
not
like horses, so
I ate it because it was, you know, it was cheap and it was protein and it was fine.
Yeah.
I would say it was not my favorite because usually horse meat is like the retired horses, so the muscles are like kind of like worn out and it's not particularly tender. But you know, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, horse.
I mean, meat is meat. You know?
Yeah. Human
Don't
meat.
think about it too much, otherwise you'll be vegetarian.
Yeah, there's kind of an ickiness to it at some point.
Well, it's a whole, like, if you think about the
horse.
process and how that meat got to you, then it becomes weird. And I don't want to think about that.
I don't know if I've ever had horse, but I would certainly try it.
You had pigeon. I don't think I would ever have pigeon.
It was, I mean, the how it was prepared was well, I mean, the sauce and all the stuff was like really, really good, but I wouldn't have pigeon again. It was kind of tough. And also, this was in Paris, I think, and we were on a sidewalk, and I was next to pigeons while I was eating a pigeon. And of course, city pigeons are not the pigeons they used to make
but it's so weird.
the pigeon stew or whatever it was. It wasn't a stew, but whatever dish. But I don't mind eating the thing next to the thing. That was not the issue for me. It was more that the idea that it could be the one that's like, you know, eating shit out of the gutter is the thing that I'm eating. Kind of disturbing. It was kind of tough. It was good, but I wouldn't do it again.
I would eat escargot. Like, I have no problem eating escargot, despite it being kind of a weird thing. Again, you can look at it. If you look at it, then you won't eat it. It's like oysters. You can't stare at them, otherwise it's never going to happen.
Yeah, otherwise they come alive and
But
latch onto your face.
But I don't think I would eat frog legs. I've never had any, and I don't think I would.
They look like little chicken wings, kind of.
Yeah, I don't.
But slimy.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And chicken feet, absolutely not. You have to pay me $1 million maybe for me to try it.
They are very
I don't understand the point.
Looking. It's more of a snack thing. You just get the skin
But there's barely any skin on there. Get a whole piece of chicken. Why bother on the feet?
I don't know. It's probably more. It's more like, it's sort of. It's not crispy. I suppose it could be done crispy. It's more like just a thing to chew on that has sauce. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
I think also because from my understanding, in the Chinese culture, like, they like to use all of the parts. So I think it probably became a dish just so they didn't, throw that away, which I can understand. But again, if I have the choice between peanuts and chicken feet, I'd probably go for the peanuts.
What's that? I think,
or no snack, I guess.
I was saying the other night, I used to listen to a lot of Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington. And I think, Carl Pilkington was tasked with traveling around the world, which is the worst person to do that, which is why he did it, or why it was good. And it was asked, like, let's say you go to visit this not the city, this place, I guess. And let's say there's a local tribe and they eat very local indigenous food, and it's much more raw. And, you're eating, I think that what was presented to him was like either the foot, like a chicken feet, or it was like the anus of an animal or something, which is what people eat. Mm-hmm. And he's like, my thing would be, why am I eating the anus? Like, there's a whole other, there's the rest of the animal somewhere. Why did I get the anus? Like, why out of all the pieces you could give to anybody, why do you give me the anus? Give me the other, give me the leg, give me the breast, give me something else. But speaking of vegan food, we went to a vegan restaurant, which is not really my jam because I really like meat.
Yeah.
And I feel like a meal without meat is not really a meal. You know what I mean? I feel like whenever I
used to think about dessert. A meal without dessert is not a meal.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, but don't you ever have that feeling? Like, if you eat just like a salad, it's not, there's no worse than meal.
I have no problem not having meat.
It's like you're just a rabbit person. Or something, just eating with lettuce.
As long as the food is tasty, I don't really care if it's meat or not.
But meat is what makes it tasty.
No, not. No,
but we went to this vegan restaurant. It was actually pretty good, but I was hungry afterwards. That's for sure. I was not full.
It wasn't the cheapest, so we didn't eat a whole lot of things. But it was actually really good. They had some like vegan sushi, which were pretty amazing. Like, I think they had one that was like the eel roll, but they used a piece of eggplant and they used some sort of like sauce and spices and whatever, and it was delicious. I was like, if I didn't know what an eel would taste like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it had like similar texture and all of that. It was very interesting. From an analysis standpoint, I would say go there to do some research. It was
yeah. It was what's the name of the place? Planted or something?
I think it was Planta Cucina, something like
Planta, that. Yeah. Not the cheapest place, but it was good.
It was really
good. More than half of the dishes were really good. There was one where no one really ate it.
It was some sort of salad that no one cared about.
But there was nothing on it. It was just like lettuce. That's unless they said here's salad, but it's actually made out of
chocolate.
I don't know, something else. Then I'd be like, oh, that's impressive. But it was just like a thing of lettuce.
Yeah, no, it was really good food. Yeah, really good food.
Yeah, I would go there.
There is a new trend. I don't know if you've seen. Using pistachio milk is the latest thing that came out.
Pistachio milk
is hot right now. Yeah, and I'm like, is that sustainable though? Like, how many pistachios do you need to make milk?
I don't know.
Like, can we just stick to the cows?
Well, I'd heard also that a lot of people have dairy and lactose issues and all these kinds of things.
Well, it's because you guys pasteurize everything over here. That's why.
That if you have like raw, normal organic milk, that people actually digest it a lot better and they have far less issues.
I mean, the whole dairy thing, we talked about it before, like in a personal time. Like, I don't think I know anyone in France who has ever had dairy problems. So I think, pasteurizing all the cheese, doing all of that to everything is just fucking with everybody's bodies.
Probably.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me.
No.
But, you know, what are you going to do about it? Still going to be looking for my sausages. Move to Europe? I don't know. It's far.
Make your own sausage, open a farm, make your own sausage.
Yeah.
I guess if it's for your own use, you don't have to follow like FDA.
Yeah, of course.
Requirements.
No, some of the best cheese I had was at a cheese farm, and it was like a friend's uncle or something like that. Definitely no regulate. I mean, there's the goat and there's the cheese, and that's like what it is. And it was phenomenal. Yeah. We all got sick the next day, but that's beside the point.
Well, I don't think it was.
No, I'm joking. We didn't get sick the next day. We felt fantastic.
We were farting of happiness.
It was so good. The cheese and the wine. Now I want cheese and wine. So yeah, Planta was good. Very in vogue, I would say. The place and the space and the people. Service was not bad.
It was pretty good.
It was better than I expected. A lot of times you go to these trendy places and the service is not good. A lot of times you go to these trendy places and when you are served, you feel like that they are doing you a favor. And
they have attitude.
You've asked them to go out of their way to do you a favor. And it's like, but I'm paying you to be here. So there's an equal exchange here. Why are you acting as if like I've intruded on your personal life? It's like you came to the house, you're like, make me dinner. And they're like, all right. It's like, no, this is what you do. You advertise it. I'm here paying you. Don't give me a lip.
No, but service was really good in that place. They were nice and took good care of us. So I would say worthwhile.
Yeah, no, it was good. What's the other place I went to recently? I forget.
Taco Bell?
No. It was a place I went to, and again, they were not very helpful. It was like I think I sat down and they forgot my water or something, and clearly that there was no like place setting for me, and there was no water. So I said, "Oh, could I get a water?" And the waitress was like, "Sure." I'm like, "No, not sure." Your response should be, "Sorry, you didn't get a water. I'll get that to you now."
Yeah,
because it should be here because everyone else already has a water and I don't. Not sure. No, not sure. What the fuck is that about? It's the small things like that that really irk me, you know?
Yeah.
People.
I don't like the sure answer because usually it means, fuck off.
Yeah, I don't like the sure answer in that kind of setting.
I don't like the sure answer in any setting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like it's always kind of like...
Unless someone says...
It's always kind of like given, like, all right,
unless
whatever.
someone says sure,
it's kind of like a whatever.
Thinking. Yes, I agree.
You know, and I don't like the whatever answer. Yeah.
What else? Oh, we got to make pizza recently.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool.
You had some problem with your dough for a little bit.
So, yeah, we go to make pizza at Italy, and Skyframe hosted us in Nevada. So it was a lot of fun. Met some great people. Had a bunch of wine, a bunch of cheese, had pizza, had like 10 slices of pizza. No, not that many, but I had like at least 6, I think. Did not feel great afterwards. Ate too much food. But yeah, we get there, mingling, and then we were making pizza, which was pretty cool. And it was also cool because it was a small party, and the chef, you know, it's a private event, you know, enclosed like private space. There's 2 people working there. There's like the head chef, and then I don't know what the other person's called, but
sous chef assistant.
You know, she's like pouring everyone's drinks, and she was very on top of her stuff too. No one's glass was ever less than half full. But the chef also, it was kind of fun because she was from Italy and had been in the United States for not that long, and her English was not great, which made it even better, I feel like.
I thought her English was really good.
Well, let me rephrase. Her English was good, but it wasn't...
She had an accent. She had
an accent, but she was also missing words here and there.
Yeah.
Which was totally fine. But I mean to say that it felt more authentic because of that. It wasn't like some guy's like, hey, what's up? I'm going to do pizza tonight.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like that. So we're all hanging out, drinking. Now the gong goes off, or the Italian equivalent of a gong, and it's now time to begin the pizza making. Everyone put on their aprons. Everyone go over to the long tables that are set up, and you're going to make your dough. What a fucking shit show that turned out to be. No, it went fine, but...
Well, there were some troublemakers in the team.
That's true, too. She's at the head of the tables, and she's talking and explaining, and she was very good because she explained, like, the history and what we're doing and why and all this stuff, which was good. I think there were people there that were also, like, very, very interested in that, so that was quite helpful and interesting. But, it comes time for the dough of, like, mixing stuff. It's always, there's, like, I think 10 of us there. So it's always interesting to see in a group setting, when it's a classroom setting, who's the first person who's not going to fucking listen to the teacher. There's always somebody who does it first. And everyone's looking around. You're that person. You did not pay attention. Not that difficult to pay attention. But not an issue, of course. But so she's explaining the flour. You put in like or you could explain. I don't remember the order. If you put the flour in the water and then you do something else.
You do the yeast in the water. And
the
then
yeast
you
in the
mix.
water to dissolve the yeast. And then you add a little bit of the flour. And you mix it up in there a little bit. And then you add in the salt because the salt and the yeast don't like each other. Like one kills the other or something.
I actually listen.
Then you add in the rest of the flour. But, in any classroom setting, group classroom teacher setting, the beginning is always slow. And everyone's like, okay, let's go. And this is why someone already dumped my flour because I'm ready to go. I already know the first step is my flour, which it's not really the first step. So it's slow. And then suddenly, somehow she's like 3 steps ahead. And there's a little bit of panic amongst the group. Like, wait, what happened? It was so slow. And all of a sudden you have dough. Well, I don't have dough. And so what happened was she mixes all this stuff, and we've all mixed this stuff, and she's working her dough, and she's talking, and probably just a few minutes go by, and we all look at her dough, and it's like this perfect ball of dough, and everyone else's looks like what is it, Venom from Spider-Man. It's sticking all over the place. So the hands, the bowl, it's sticking on the ceiling, it's sticking everywhere, and no one can figure out what she did to get hers to be so fluffy, except for you. Somehow, of the entire table, yours was like, oh yeah, you just do this, and everyone's looking at you, and the teacher's like, what the fuck? And you're like, well, you're just not doing it right. Like, okay, calm down. Just because you're European also doesn't mean you have to be a dick about it. It's like, but it's really sticky. Somehow yours didn't stick and hers didn't.
Well, you add flour if it's sticky, a little bit,
Yeah, but that step wasn't quite
You
conveyed.
have to go with the flow. Well, you can keep going if you can get rid of the things on your hands, right? Like, what's the point? Like,
I think they were under flour. They didn't give us enough flour too, so we all end up adding quite a bit of flour to make the thing more, I don't know, contained, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you just gotta work it out a little.
No, but see, that's the kind of answer you give, which is not a solution to someone who has sticky dough.
I said
you just got to work it
flowers.
out a little bit. No, that's not the answer. The answer
Or
is
maybe you were
add
not
a lot
mushing
more
it
flour.
right. Because you were not mushing it right.
No. The answer was add another, like, probably 1/8 cup of flour, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, but not all at once. Just like little bits and little bits and little bits.
That would be good, helpful information to have.
But you made it in the end, so what are you complaining about?
I figured it out without any help from other people, without any help from the Europeans, who were just kind of snooty and like, yeah, you just keep working on it and it works out. I'm like, does it though? Or did you do something and you're not telling us? Oh yeah, like adding flour. And she said also, you can add a little bit of flour. Wrong. Add a little bit of flour, and then more, a little bit of flour, and then more and more and more until it feels right.
Yeah, but
no one ever said that.
Well, I think she meant don't add too much at once, because then you
no, I'm not blaming her because she was fine. I blame you though. You could have helped us, but you didn't. You chose to withhold information.
Well, some people were doing fine. It was just a few of you that were, a little bit.
By a few, you mean 80% of us. It was really sticky. It was fun though.
It was really fun. The pizza turned out really delicious.
So we make the dough, and we slap the dough like a baby's butt, and you throw it down the table, and you slap it again, and you mush it, and you slap it again. Then you put it in a bag.
You don't slap it. You throw it on the table. Nobody slapping wasn't part of it.
Yeah, that's the secret. That's what she did. You didn't see her? She took the dough off the table, and she put it under the table, and she was like...
I'm not sure what is happening right now.
That's what she said. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what she did.
Okay,
yeah.
well, she didn't say that to me. I didn't hear that.
Derci. And
then you speak Italian.
And then that's what that she did that. You didn't notice. We weren't paying close attention like the good students. You take a plastic bag, you fill it with olive oil, and you put the dough in there so you can save it for later. And then so we do that, and she goes, now guys, now be mindful, something like the dough will explode later on. And then she moved on to the next step, and everyone was like, wait, what?
We all tied our bag, we tied our plastic bag with what the dough was in, like really tight. And so she said, oh yeah, you gotta change the container when you get home, otherwise it's gonna explode. So we
and then she walked away.
Loosened up the knot, and we're like, wait, what? Well, it's yeast,
expand.
so yeah, it will. I mean, it's like when you make kombucha, if you seal it and you leave it not refrigerated, the jar would explode. Actually, it happened to one of my old coworker.
Oh.
She made kombucha. She stored it in her kitchen cupboard in like a mason jar or something, closed it.
Did she make it out alive?
Well, yeah.
Explosion.
The jar exploded. She heard like a big bang in her kitchen.
The glass jar.
Like, what?
No, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, could be careful with kombucha too.
Yeah.
Those bacteria is growing in your kitchen, you know. Watch out. They're going to come and eat you at night.
So we make the dough. We put it in the bag. Everyone's feeling pretty proud of themselves.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, now you're going to go underneath the tables and grab this other dough that we've already made. Which was fine, but also a little bit like...
Which was perfect.
Okay, so you didn't trust us. It wasn't that. It was because the dough needs to like sit for a period of time.
It needs to rise, and we didn't have time to wait.
So we have the new dough. Now comes the second half of the pizza making experience, which is to make the pizza from the dough. Let's see who else doesn't listen to the instructions. This time around, it was 2 or 3 of us who didn't listen to the instructions.
She was like explaining
at all.
Yeah, she was like explaining. Okay, so like you roll it, you flip it on the semolina flour just so it doesn't like stick to the the dish where you're cooking in, and then you're gonna put tomato sauce on it. What? Gonna put tomato sauce on it, but she was like, but don't put too much. You don't want to inundate the dough, right? Just just enough. And as soon as she says that, turn to my left, and the 2 troublemakers had completely covered their dough.
Tomato soup.
You could only see like the 1/4 inch left of exposed dough at the bottom of it on the plate.
Yeah.
But it was covered around the edges and everything.
Good, though. Looked pretty tasty.
And yeah, I don't think she was happy about that.
So then what happens? Then they stick them in the oven. Mm-hmm. And they like cook. They don't have to cook them, but there's no cheese or toppings on it at all. So then they give you that in a box. So now you have a pizza with just tomato sauce, and there's no cheese or anything. And then you add your own stuff on. Did they give us cheese?
Yeah, we had mozzarella a little bit.
Okay,
but then we made our own home pizza on the weekend and added our own toppings on it.
Oh, it was good pizza.
And it was pretty delicious. You know, I got a pizza from Trader Joe's last night. That was my dinner, and I have to say, I was like, you know what? It doesn't make sense. Making your own tastes just so much better.
Yeah.
Like if you have time,
but
fine,
I would say that some of the TJ's pizzas, if you cook it right, they're not bad.
I mean, this one was cooked right, but it didn't taste like anything. Like the cheese doesn't taste like anything. The tomato sauce doesn't taste like anything. The crust doesn't have any flavor. Like,
snooty Europeans. It doesn't taste like anything. But for a frozen pizza, it's not bad. I mean, look, frozen pizza is 30, 25 years ago. Right. You didn't have many options. Now you got all kinds of cool stuff.
25 years ago?
Yeah. And now a little break for our show sponsors. If you're starting to laser scan your renovation projects for accurate as-builts, you'll want to hear this. Imagine that you've been awarded a big project, but not surprisingly, your client hands over wonky CAD drawings from 17 years ago. No worries. Meet Integrated Projects, or IPX for short. IPX is a scan-to-BIM platform that converts your 3D point cloud file, which is produced from any major LiDAR camera, into standardized BIM and CAD files. The best part is that they lay out the price and turnaround time instantly. That means starting your interior renovation project on the 50-yard line with an accurate set of drawings in 3D and 2D. Click the IPX link in our show notes to launch the platform for free. We are supported by Enscape. Enscape is a fast and easy-to-use real-time visualization and VR tool for the AEC industry. Enscape is not a standalone application. Instead, it's a plugin, which makes things much easier. It plugs into Revit, SketchUp, Rhino, ArchiCAD, and Vectorworks. With Enscape, you can create realistic renderings, 360-degree panoramas, and videos, and you can even immerse clients in VR to give them a deeper understanding of their building. Enscape is used by more than 500,000 monthly users worldwide from over 150 countries. So if you want a fast and user-friendly real-time visualization experience, then click on the Enscape 3D link in our show notes.
The Second Studio podcast is made possible by support from Autodesk.
Autodesk has been part of the design conversation since 1982, providing the tools that help architects around the globe imagine and create beautifully designed, memorable buildings that people love and admire. Autodesk supports the work of the Second Studio, bringing the architecture community together, sparking curiosity, and leading vibrant interviews with the industry's visionaries and thought leaders.
The Second Studio works hard to carry the architecture conversation forward, and Autodesk is proud to contribute to this podcast. If you want to learn more about Autodesk, click the link in the episode notes.
I'm saying the frozen pizza.
25 years ago, people were making their own. You just make your own.
Oh, in the United States, we have DiGiorno. Have you ever had DiGiorno's pizza?
No.
Have you heard of DiGiorno's?
What is that? Like a cheap-ass pizza that's frozen.
It's a pizza company. And I think they came out when I was a kid.
You put it in like the toaster or something?
No. I mean, it's a proper pizza that you buy, like a normal frozen pizza. But when I was a kid, I think they came out when I was a kid. And their commercials their big thing was like, how did the commercials go? There would always be an event, like a party of some kind at someone's house. And there's pizza at the party, of course. And there's the guests, and they're having a good time. And the guests are eating the pizza, and there's a guy who goes, he gets a slice, he bites into it, super long, cheesy, from the crust kind of deal. It looks great. And he goes, this is really good. This must be takeout, or this must be from that pizza place. And the host goes, no, it's not takeout, it's DiGiorno's. And that's the commercial. That's like their thing. So their whole thing was frozen pizza that is just as good as like a pizza place.
Is it, though?
So when I was a kid, I didn't know much about food, obviously. First time I had DiGiorno's, of course, DiGiorno's also sounds like authentic Italian name. DiGiorno's. Cousin
How
DiGiorno.
do you spell it?
Made D-I-G something N-O.
Oh.
First time I had DiGiorno's, right?
You mean DiGiorno?
Okay, again, don't be rude.
DiGiorno.
No, it's in the United States. It's DiGiorno. No one in that commercial is saying DiGiorno. No, it's
well, if you want to make it authentic, you have to give it the right pronunciation.
The first time I had DiGiorno's,
you're blown away.
I've been trained in my mind over how many years that this is what really good pizza should taste like.
Seeing the commercial?
And this is what like authentic, whatever pizza tastes like. Because also as a kid, I didn't have like actual pizza until I was probably in college. Like we just
never made pizza at home?
No.
Well, I guess you're an Asian family, so
we made
sense.
Rice. And we
made
rice
homemade
and
pizza
Spam.
growing up.
So I didn't have like truly authentic pizza, right?
I've never had Spam growing
but
up.
I knew DiGiorno was authentic pizza, and bought it, put in the oven, had a slice. I did not like it at all. And
your first one?
Yeah, I thought it was horrible. And this was me as like a kid.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is not good.
Bad.
Authentic pizza is not great. I want Pizza Hut. And of course now I realize that DiGiorno's is like the worst of all the pizzas. So I would say, so that's what I'm saying also, TJ's and all the other kind of pizzas.
I'm sure you can find worse, but the fact, the main thing is things don't taste like anything. Like the cheese have no taste. It's like, what's the point of a pizza? Like at least put some, actually I should have done that. Usually when I do the frozen
Tabasco.
pizza, I do add my own like basil, oregano on it, just to give it some kick, because otherwise it's just tasteless.
We should buy some DiGiorno's. It's like eating cardboard.
No, I'm good.
It's even worse.
No.
Than unless they've improved their formula, but I don't think so.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad would make homemade pizza.
Yeah.
He'll make all kinds of things.
I mean, it seems relatively easy. You just need to...
You just need to make the dough. And I don't even think he was using any yeast when he was making his pizza.
What?
Yeah.
Then how does it...
Well, it just fluffs up.
On its own?
Well, no, it's not as light and airy and bubbly as the one we made, with the yeast, but... Yeah.
But she said that the yeast, if you buy the chunks of the rocks, the little pebbles of yeast, that they don't last very long.
No, they don't. But in France, you can go to it's not a bakery shop, but like a bread shop.
Okay.
And you could buy the cubes of yeast there.
Oh.
You don't have to go to the store. It's fresh. You buy it fresh at the...
But can't we buy like the little jar of yeast? It's like in powder form or something?
You can, but that's not as good, I think.
But better than no yeast.
Yeah, it's better. I mean, we have some of that.
It is shelf stable?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think
perfect.
I don't think it tastes as good. Because the one we use
I'm an
for
American,
this pizza
so I think this sounds like a good middle ground for me. I need convenience over anything else.
But it's super easy. I mean, I think it's worthwhile making your own pizza.
Oh,
unless you're in
I
a
want
rush.
pizza now. Yeah, it was really good. It was great. Hanging out with people, talking about all different kinds of a lot of work stuff, but also just random fun things.
I like those types of events because you're doing something. You're not just like standing with your glass making small conversation. Like you're getting to know people and you're getting to know them doing something, and kind of like seeing personalities and all of that.
I agree.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Although I will say, so then after we are finished making our pizzas and the dough and the tomato sauce, they bake them for us. And while they're doing that, then we sit down and have dinner, and they've already made other pizza. So there's actually 3 different pizzas that have been, 3 different pizzas that were made. The dough that we made, the pizza that we made, and the pizza that they made.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I always feels a little bit insulting when they prepared food for me. But it was so good. And as much as I enjoyed visiting people, I also wanted to just sit and eat the pizza, not talk to anybody.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I just want to enjoy this. Also because, I'm kind of cognizant that the persons that were there, like, they made the pizza. And, like, I kind of want to enjoy the thing that they made because they put time into it. Even though this is a very simple recipe for them, I know.
Yeah.
But still, it's like someone made this, and right here, I'd like to enjoy it, not just make drink a bunch of wine and not taste it kind of deal. Oh, it was good though.
It was really good, and actually I didn't know that Italy they do private events, like cooking class private event, but they also do like weekly cooking classes. You could book for like 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, and I think it's like 2 or 3 hour class, and I think it's actually pretty cool. I would totally go back there and take a class on like making like my own pasta.
Would you do that with a random group of people though?
Yeah, I wouldn't care. I mean, it's small enough. It's like 10 people. But I would go with maybe someone I know, just so you're not only with strangers. Because I feel like a lot of people go to those things at least with someone.
Yeah, because if you go by yourself, you're a weirdo.
You're like, there's just no friends. You're like, oh, fuck you. But no, I would be interested to go and like try and make like my own pastas because I've never done that.
So really? Cool. I
mean, we've made pasta at your parents, but it's like nothing.
Again, with the attitude.
No, but we use like the spaghetti machine, which I would be interested to make like more complex shape one and see like what tools they're using and how you roll and that would be cool.
Yeah.
So what to get me for
We
Christmas.
should do more of those kinds of classes and things. It is fun to like learn and do something and have something come out of it.
Yep.
You should take a baseball batting classes. I think you'd enjoy that.
What do I care about baseball?
It's very satisfying to hit a ball really hard with a bat.
I don't know. I don't need to hit things to feel good.
What a bowling class.
It sounds precarious.
Precarious?
Sounds like you could twist your ankle or your hip or something.
Oh my, okay. Well then baseball is definitely not for you. If bowling is, if you consider
I'm always
it to be
down for ping
dangerous.
pong, but nobody is ever around. Well, there's never a table around to play ping pong.
You need a table and you like 100 balls because they all disappear somehow.
We used to have a ping pong table growing up. That was the best thing. And we could play by ourselves, so we would open it against the wall so you could just play alone.
Okay. Learning about
it's a lonely child.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. Oh, but there's this great feature. You can play by yourself.
Because my sister wasn't always game to play ping pong. I think she wasn't really interested very much, but I was. So I would just put it against the tree and just play by myself.
Were you good at it? Well, I guess if you're playing by yourself, it's sort of... You're good and bad.
The ball only goes so far. It comes back at you pretty quickly.
Yeah. So. But did you feel like you had skills?
Playing by myself? No, not really. But playing with people? Yeah, I thought it was decent. I mean, at least I could catch the ball. Yeah. It's the only ball I could catch ever. So
catch the ball? There's no catching in ping pong.
Well, no, but tapping it. I don't know the terms.
Oh, hitting the ball.
Yeah. Gosh, you're so picky with your words.
Well, I don't...
Speak another language, and then you can give me shit on.
Is it weird to speak
word.
English?
Well, not anymore. It's been like 15 years.
Right. Okay. What else about the pizza excursion that you have to? Would you say? What would you contribute to the conversation?
Well, I already contributed.
I know.
So rude. No, I thought it was fantastic. I would be so down to do it again. And the pizza was so delicious that now I want to be making pizza every week. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Cooking is interesting. I feel like it'd be really cool to like take more classes like that because it's very meditative. Like you can't think of anything else but the thing you're doing at that moment.
Favorite pizza?
Just the normal tomato sauce mozzarella.
No basil?
Oh, I mean, no, yeah, basil.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
It's pretty good.
Just, not simple, but good mozzarella, like good fresh, like gooey in the middle mozzarella. Not like the plasticky looking thing you find in the stores here. It's terrible.
I don't know. Is there different types of mozzarella?
Yeah, there's the mozzarella di bufala, which is the one that has like the liquidy, kind of creamy center.
It sits in water?
Yeah.
Floats around like some organs and some kind of like...
you don't want to buy the one that's like plastic wrap and like it's like one solid ball.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what that is, but that's not mozzarella.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's like string cheese in a ball,
String cheese. think we've talked about this before. You didn't have string cheese in France, did you?
No, we did. It was probably better string cheese than yours because it was there, but it doesn't. My younger sister really loves cheese that have no flavor, and I don't. I was more on like the blue cheese type of person.
Okay.
So that would be her thing. The string cheese was her thing. I never really understood the appeal for it, but
it's just salty calcium. That's what it is. I mean, it's here in the United States. It's just salty calcium. Yeah. There's not much to it. Really.
She liked all of the like in French we have the Babybel, the Kiri, or like little squares. They're kind of like cream cheese, but less dense. They come in little square, like packed with foil, and you unwrap it and spread it on a toast. She loved those. I thought they were okay.
But goat cheese is pretty mild.
Goat cheese. Oh, we used to have a farm in our hometown that would make goat cheese. So it was like special when we would go on the weekend get it there. It was like so clean and fresh and smelled like goat, you know.
Smelled like goat?
I do like the smell of animals in farms, I have to say. Like smell of horses, the smell of goats, the smell of like, you know, dry straw. Mm-hmm. I really like whenever we go on walks, you know, in the neighborhood and it smells like dirt or like fresh cut grass. Oh, I'm like, I wish I could capture the smell in a bottle.
I'm sure there's a candle called fresh cut grass.
Yeah, but you never want to smell those because they smell absolutely awful.
Oh, really?
There was one candle once that Trader Joe's has because I, if you couldn't tell, I love Trader Joe's. And it was like grape tomatoes or something.
What?
It was the worst candle smell I think I've ever smelled. It was
is that the one that was like tomato basil?
Or maybe it was tomato basil. It was awful. Yeah. I'm like, who said it was going to be a good idea to put that on the shelf? And the fact that people buy it, I'm like, oh, no. Like, yeah. No. So, yeah. Oh, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. I want pizza.
Oh, well.
But I won't be having pizza. I'll be having meatloaf, which is a very strange type of food when you think about it. A loaf of meat.
Like reshaping a thing that already had some sort of shape and making into another shape.
Well, sausages are like that. Although sausages have been around for a long time, so I don't know if they get a pass because of that. I mean, the sausage, it sort of makes sense because you've made it transportable. Right?
Yeah, you can wear it around your neck as a necklace.
Put it between two pieces of carbs, you know.
It's funny because I feel like hot dogs here don't have a very good reputation.
No, they don't.
In the sausage world, right?
Well, hot dogs and sausages, we don't categorize them in the same. They're different.
And that's because it's processed versus not?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what makes I know what makes a hot dog versus a sausage, but here, yeah, no, they're different things.
Like, it's like a bad. If you say you like hot dogs, like outside of in a bun, like, I feel like people like judge you, like, who's that person?
Wait, what? Hot dogs outside of a bun?
Yeah, like yeah.
Who's eating hot dogs outside of a bun?
Like, I would. What? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, you just hold on to it like.
Oh, you can eat it with mashed potatoes.
Yeah, no.
Like, again, growing up, we had sausages, kind of like the hot dogs one, like the Franks, I guess. You know, in France, that's the brand was Knacky. And they made like, you know, like long, like normal size ones, and then they made also like half size ones.
Okay.
And they also made ball shaped ones.
Oh no!
Which you just put in it comes in a cardboard jar, and you put that in the microwave. You could just pop them like that.
How big
Actually,
are they?
That was pretty good.
Like tennis ball size?
No, they're like little balls like this.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know, 1.5 inches diameter.
But they have the twist at the end, like a sausage. You know, as a casing. And
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But there's no like, you know, metal part or anything. Like it's just shaped like that. But yeah. But anyway, we would eat like the normal size ones, usually with like mashed potato. That's like a pretty common lunch for kids.
I'm gonna guess
with
that
like
those...
ketchup on the side, and you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that hot dog Frank is probably
a bit better than the
hot dogs here. Like you eat them at baseball games and sporting events and, you know, fairs and stuff like that. Eat it when you're in college, you know, or at a barbecue, but you don't eat it as like a meal. It's not like a meal. Mm. You know, like you could have a hamburger at home, I suppose. Well, that's less common, but you wouldn't ever really have it's not the same. And hot dog, like you would never call a sausage a hot dog. You know what I'm saying?
In France, we only have one word for any type of sausages.
Yes, it's because probably yours are proper sausages,
It is
even for the ones
sausages.
you're describing.
Well, or maybe it's because the normal sausages are already the skinny ones, so we don't really make a differentiation between them. Well,
Yeah.
here, if you're comparing the German
No.
sausage and like the hot
Yeah.
dogs, yeah, they're kind of like two different things.
I mean, there's bratwurst and then there's hot dog.
Yeah.
And the hot dog, you would call something a hot dog based on probably how artificial it is. Once it
Right.
crosses that threshold, then it's hot dog. I think that's how it works. Yeah. But no, they're not good for you. I think they have a bunch of random shit. And then when you burn them, which is what you make them tasty, that's also really not good for you.
But you eat hot dogs often.
I like hot dogs. They're delicious. But I like sausages more, but they don't have sausages. They only have chicken sausages.
I think you just got to go to a different store.
I know. But I don't like the idea of like the sausage being this gourmet, gentrified, whatever hipster thing.
Yeah,
What's
it makes no
$2 for a
sense.
fucking sausage? It's ridiculous. Like, the sausage should be cheap and it should be normal.
You got to import some from Europe.
I know.
Or drive down to, I don't know, Mexico, bring some back over the border. Don't know where you
Does
can
Mexico
find.
have sausages?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Well, you made that up then. Okay, good. So, pizza, sausages. This is a very gourmet podcast that we're discussing here. What other things can we talk about?
Well, if we keep going down the list, we had Shake Shack Burger for 3 weekends in a row.
We did, yeah.
And why did we?
Because they had a coupon, so you get a free sandwich. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take a free chicken sandwich, which is not bad. I'm like, yeah. I don't need Shake Shack for quite some time now.
I feel like I'm on a routine here.
I do love Shake Shack. It's good. Not as good as In-N-Out.
No,
but
that's not true. It's much better.
It's just what it is.
Potato bun, seasoned meat, curly fries.
Shake Shack's a weird place because it's a fast food establishment, but their food is like, it's good enough to where it's could be considered not really fast. Like their burgers are not very large,
Yeah.
but putting aside the size, like it's just as good as a burger you'd get at like a sit-down restaurant.
Well,
so I
didn't
don't
Shake
understand.
Shack start in New York?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So you can tell it's it's kind of like has a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, but why don't they make it more into like a sit-down kind of place?
Because it's
The
just
food's
burgers.
good enough. Yeah, but
The menu
I suppose
is
that's true.
pretty fixed.
I suppose
like it's
there aren't
not,
many like sit-down burger establishments really, like just only burgers, and they have hot dogs also. But all that kind of stuff, they're never a sit-down. It's always like you can go to a restaurant and have a burger, but that restaurant if it's a sit-down,
Yeah, then it's like.
arrangement.
But usually you get a burger at a restaurant. They're not
They're
the
like, okay, they're
They're
just
not
big.
the greatest burgers.
They're just big.
Yeah, they're big, and oftentimes they're kind of oily, and they don't really taste like a whole lot. I mean,
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't think I've ever went to a restaurant and was like, wow, this is the best burger I've ever had. Maybe I did.
Best burger I've ever had.
Best burger I've ever had. I would say probably Shake Shack.
Shake Shack's it's unique. For me, it's not about best. They're just different types of burgers.
What else did we do lately?
We went to the Magic Castle for the first time.
Can you explain what the Magic Castle is for people who don't know?
The Magic Castle is it used to be a house, a large-ish house that's in Hollywood.
I think Hollywood.
It's in LA. And now it's like this magic castle hub place where they train magicians, but they also mostly they have performances there. So you can go there at night, have dinner and drinks, walk around with your drink, and like see different shows that are happening throughout the quote castle. Not as big. When people say castle, I imagine like a castle. It's actually quite small.
Well, I think it's pretty big, but the rooms are small. I think it's just a lot of small spaces.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting space. It's a pretty interesting concept. Actually, I wish there is more of those places where you can kind of like dine and get entertainment, but also not just be sitting in the same seat for 5 hours. Like you move around and you meander and, go check that out, go check this out, It's kind of, I like the concept.
Yeah, I think what you're craving for is Disneyland.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's exactly what you described. You dine, walk around, see things.
I like the Magic Castle because it is contained. There is only a limited amount of bodies that can get in there before it gets too crowded. Disneyland to me
has
is
a
just
castle.
long line, people everywhere, children crying, desperate parents, a bathroom that are gross, like sugar smell everywhere you go. Like,
no, actually, Disneyland's bathrooms are quite clean.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The whole thing is clean. I mean, they scrub the place down almost every night. And during the day, they have people running around cleaning it constantly.
Well, I guess especially the one down in SoCal because that was the first one.
Yeah. It's clean,
So
clean. But yeah, Magic Castle, what'd you think?
It's pretty cool. I have to say, to start with, I'm not a huge on magic because I get annoyed not knowing how tricks happen.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm the type of person who needs to understand how things work. Like, that's why when I go to the doctor, I always ask them a bunch of questions, and they're probably like, why does she want to know all of these things? I'm like, I just am the type who wants to know.
Yeah.
So I usually get annoyed with magic. But I thought that was pretty cool, and I actually got tricked a few times not understanding how things could be done. So that was pretty interesting. It was kind of like an older vibe in the space itself, talking about design.
Okay. The architecture. I mean, the people...
The decor, the setting.
It's a...
But I feel like it's appropriate for what the place is about. So
sort of haunted house, that kind of deal.
Kind of like no daylight. You don't really know what time of the day it is outside, where you are, type of thing. I thought it was pretty cool. There's definitely some magicians that were really good. There is one that was not that great. I was like, dude, I know how you did this. It was pretty obvious.
I know, and he was talked up the most, too.
I know. I was like, yeah, I've been doing this for, all my life. And I'm like, oh, really? Maybe you should have done another career.
Yeah, it was not.
But there was a group of German magicians who were there that night, and they were really entertaining. Like, it was more of a comedy show and magic show rather than just magic. So I very much enjoyed that. It was cool. It was different.
It is. I do wish I agree. I wish there were more places that were more, that offered more and had more to them in terms of program and experience and also architecture. That just like the combined program or just did something. So it's kind of an odd thing, like when you're an adult, or I guess, when you're a kid, it's you go and you play. Then when you're in college, you go and you drink. You go to people's houses and you hang out. But when you're an adult and it's like, let's go out. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Guess we're going to go to a bar or a restaurant. And that's kind of like your choice.
Or a movie, but then we can talk.
Or a movie, which is like, you can't talk, and afterwards you're like, kind of, everyone's like, what's just happening? Like, what's going on? I'm kind of sleepy, but I'm rested, but I don't know. And there's not a whole lot of like options really. I mean, there's like hiking
or
and
you
stuff.
Have to like host people at your place, make dinner together.
Yeah, but going out, I mean, I had this distinct feeling too when we were in New York City. Like toward the end, I'm like, okay, let's go out and meet people. What are we gonna do?
Yeah,
I don't know. Just consume food and alcohol, I guess, or a coffee, but just like consume and sit.
Yeah,
and then walk around the city. I mean, obviously there's museums and stuff, but like. It's kind of odd there aren't other, I guess in a sense you could say, forms of entertainment or forms of consumption. Like there's not a whole lot of variety.
Or you go to a concert, but it's like a 3-hour thing. It takes half a day to get there and wait. And, what was good here is that you could, in the same night, you could have dinner. You could see like 3 magic shows. You could maybe mingle at a bar and meet some people. Like it was actually a good mix of activities with short time frames between them and kind of like spaces to meander.
Maybe that's why axe throwing became so big for a period of time.
Just because this new kind of adult activity. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. If I would go back there often, probably not. But, maybe once a year, like I think that could be cool.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I think if I was going to go back, I'd probably try and find like who's the best magician and, go see that just to make it more worth my time. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
The Magic Castle. It's this place that I've heard about for so many years, and finally we went there.
I know, and it's like you have to know people who are members or work there in order to get in. I also kind of like that because it's not like, oh, you just book your reservation and show up with this and that. It's like, no, like you gotta find your magic way to get in.
Yep.
So that was cool. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
All right.
You're hungry, I know.
Yeah, I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. This is a short recording, but who cares? It's time to eat. Let us know what you're eating, listeners. Okay.
Let us know what you think about chicken sausages.
Yeah, we had some really good food at the Magic Castle too. Some really good wine. Ooh, that was good. Yeah, what did I have? Some kind of British thing. I forget what it was. It was like a Mr. Dijon. I don't know, whatever it was. It was a
Mr. Dijon, that's so British.
Some kind of meat and some kind of, it was like Mr. Bourgeois or something. It was good, whatever it was. Mr. Pellegrin. Okay. Well, give us an outro.
No, you give us an outro.
Okay, this is the outro. This is ending. The recording is ending. Find us everywhere online, Instagram mostly. The show also has a hotline, so if you want to text guest suggestions or topics for questions or random topics to feed these after-hour discussions, because we don't do a lot of things. We just work. So it's a struggle to think about what we're going to talk about. So if you have a topic in mind, let us know. And that hotline is 213-222-6950. We have an email, which is hello@secondstudiopod.com. Find us everywhere. Thanks for listening. That's it for now. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.